Hello again! In this video I would like to give you a tour through the command blocks in the Heist. First, let me give you a quick overview. In the spawn chunks we have all the mechanics that work the same way in all levels. So for example the cameras, robots and Gamebands. Then we have the different levels, which contain several layers with different purposes. We'll get to those later. And a bunch of command blocks on top of it. For the most part, these are used to reset a level when you get busted. The rest provide mechanics that have unique properties for a given level, like playing sound files and taking care of objectives and winning or losing conditions. Whenever you clear a level, you get teleported to an elevator on top of the next one, so that usually only command blocks in the spawn chunks and your current level are active. This should be enough for a quick orientation. Time to look deeper. Here's a list of all the mechanics I will explain in this video. Feel free to jump ahead if you're only interested in a specific one, and enjoy! Cameras and sonars. This may be the most interesting mechanic, at least it's the one I got the most questions about. The detection system you can see in the level are just models without any functionality whatsoever. For example, the camera is cobblestone on an armor stand plus a guardian. The actual camera is this armor stand a few dozen blocks higher up. As all detection systems in this map, it works based on a 15 game tick cycle. In the first tick, we summon in several armor stands, each one assigned to a very specific angle. In each of the following game ticks, these armor stands are teleported forward in the direction they were assigned to. At the same time, they check the conditions at their X and Z position in the actual level. Should they hit an obstacle they can't pass through, like walls or robots, they get removed. Otherwise, they place a block in this buffer layer. At the end of the 15 tick cycle, the blocks inside this buffer are copied into the layer below. Finally, the buffer gets cleared, the remaining armor stands removed, and the cycle can start all over again. That's the whole secret. The lower layer now shows exactly which blocks can be seen by the camera and which cannot. A sonar works very similar to this. All that's changed are the block types that can provide cover, and instead of placing blocks in a buffer, they are placed directly in this layer. So that instead of an area, like with a camera, a sonar covers a thin line. Now, should you walk through the level and there's a marker in one of these layers above you, your alarm level gets increased. The amount is a constant value in case of a camera, and depending on your movement speed for sonar. Robots. Our robots are based on an idea by Dragnoz, so you may want to check out his video on it. The robots you see in the level are simple armor stands equipped with snow or clay blocks. By default, they are moving forward in the direction they are looking at. While they are moving, they place redstone dust in this layer above to mark their patrol route. Should there be a stone brick stair above in this layer, they will rotate into the direction the stair indicates and continue. Not much to it really. And how does their detection work? We simply place a working camera or sonar above them without a model, which the robots then can move and rotate alongside themselves. Gamebands. Before I talk about the different abilities, let me explain the interface, starting with a shout out to Panda 4994 since it was his idea. The items in your hotbar are armor pieces, so when you right click while holding one in your hand, you equip it, which is something we can easily detect and react to. First, you get a scoreboard value depending on what item exactly you have equipped. Then, your inventory is reset, so the item is no longer in an armor slot but back in your hotbar. Now let's talk about the different abilities. Recharge. As soon as you trigger this ability, we simply look for a recharge station nearby that has some charge left. Your inventory will then be emptied and your XP level increases over time. As soon as you trigger the band again, walk too far away, or the station runs out of power, we reset the inventory to normal. Hacking. For this one, let's have a look below the level. Most of the command blocks you will find there are responsible for the different effects a console can have, like showing emails and unlocking doors. Whenever you trigger hacking and there's a console on reach, a fill command will place redstone blocks below the level, which trigger the proper command blocks for that console. By the way, doors are locked thanks to 2 slimes which prevent you from clicking on them. Sensor. This one is an ability that is toggled, not triggered. As long as it is active, the marker blocks from the camera and sonar layers, as well as the redstone from the robot path, are cloned into the level. However, before that happens, the level around you gets cleared by removing redstone dust and marker blocks, so that in the end you only see things in a limited range around you. X-ray. While X-ray is active, a single armor stand is dragged along by the player. At the position of this armor stand, fill commands replace clay with glass, resulting in an X-ray effect. Similar to sensor mode, a mirrored fill command will revert glass to clay, to keep the X-ray effect focused on your current position. Magnet. Whenever you see a glowing cast iron block in the level, there's probably an iron block at this height above. As long as magnet mode is active, an iron block is at that height, and the block directly above you is air or an open vent, you get teleported upwards. At the same time, the air blocks below you are replaced by barrier blocks. Overall, the effect isn't as smooth as we wanted, but for the most part it works fine. Stealth. Nothing special about this one. You get the invisibility effect, and the mechanics that react to cameras and lasers ignore you. Stun. Again, nothing special. All robots in range will start a countdown. Until that countdown is finished, the robots are inactive. Drill. For this ability, we determine which of the 4 cardinal directions you're looking at. Then place an armor stand 1 block in front of you. If that armor stand is placed in a too high wall of the right material, the blocks are moved below the level, from which they get moved back up whenever the level resets. The reason for this is that originally there were more block types intended to be drillable, and cloning would have saved us a lot of work during the level reset. Teleport. This one is just for the sake of completion. Upon activation you get teleported to the endgame chamber, which takes care of everything else. Keycards, mobile phone and goggles. Keycards work actually very similar to hacking. The keycard readers you see on the wall are simply a button and a command block. Whenever you click on the button, several command blocks below the level are activated, just like with hacking. If you hold the matching keycard in your hand, or at least own the right one and hold the use keycard item, the slimes that block the door are removed and redstone torches are placed to open it for you. As for the mobile phone and night vision goggles, as soon as you click on an item in your inventory so that you hold it with your cursor, they are not part of your inventory any longer. Their slots are empty. By simply testing if you still have goggles or a phone, we can tell if you clicked on them or not, resulting in a reset of your inventory or the whole level. Alarm level and battery charge. Since I already made a video on that, I'll just direct you to that. Objectives. The most interesting thing about our objectives has actually nothing to do with command blocks. Names can't have spaces, so instead we use percentage characters and made them invisible with the resource pack. And this is where we end our little tour. If you still have questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, see you next time.